All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into the world of Bernhard Schölkopf.
Oh, yeah, this will be fun.
He is, a leading expert in AI and machine learning and all this stuff that's going to, really shape how we live and work in the future.
I think what's really fascinating about him is, you think AI guru, you think computer scientist.
Right.
But his background is actually in physics and mathematics.
No way.
Yeah, he got his degree from the University of Tübingen over in Germany.
So that's got to give him, a totally different way of looking at these AI problems, right?
Totally, and I think it really does.
Yeah.
I think instead of just focusing on, the data and the patterns,
Right.
he's also thinking about why things happened, like the underlying causes.
The causality of it all.
Exactly, and you can really see that throughout his work.
So I've been, digging into some articles about him, some of his writings.
Yeah.
And it's clear that this guy is really pushing the boundaries of AI. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll not only know who Schölkopf is, but why his work really matters.
Yeah, why should we even care about this guy?
Yeah, exactly. And trust me, it's important.
Oh, big time.
So one of Schölkopf's, most famous contributions is his work on this thing called kernel methods.
Nah.
And specifically this thing called support vector machines, these SVMs.
Right. And they're machine learning algorithms that, really just revolutionized the field.
Yeah, this was the part that kind of blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
When I was first reading about him. So break it down for me, how do these kernel methods actually work?
Okay, so imagine you're trying to separate, different colored marbles on a table, right?
Okay.
Kernel methods are tilting the table in just the right way so that all the marbles roll into their separate little groups.
Okay, based on their color?
Exactly.
I'm kind of seeing it.
So now imagine applying that to facial recognition software. So instead of comparing, every pixel of your face to a database,
right,
the kernel trick basically transforms the data into this higher dimensional space where the difference between faces are much easier to spot.
Oh, so it's not just a cool visual, it's a real world game changer.
It is a game changer.
Wow.
And so Schölkopf was critical in developing this stuff.
Yeah.
He was working with Vladimir Vapnik,
okay,
who's this pioneer in statistical learning theory. And they even co-authored a book called Learning with Kernels, which is essential reading in the field.
Gotta check that out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we've got these kernel methods. They're super powerful. They're being used everywhere. But it sounds like Schölkopf didn't just stop there.
Right. He recognized that, even with kernel methods, these traditional AI models, they were limited because they were mainly focused on correlation.
Okay, now hold on a second. Back up. What's wrong with correlation? Isn't that how we figure out if things are, connected?
Yeah. It's a great starting point, but it doesn't really tell the whole story.
Okay.
Correlation just means that two things kind of happen together.
Right.
But it doesn't tell you if one thing actually causes the other to happen.
Gotcha.
And for AI to, really understand the world and make good decisions,
yeah,
it needs to understand causality.
Okay, I see the issue.
Yeah.
So just because people carrying umbrellas usually stay dry,
right,
it doesn't mean that the umbrella caused them to stay dry. It could be, some other factor, like it's raining.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's where Schölkopf's work on causal inference comes in.
Yeah.
He's trying to build AI systems that go beyond those correlations and actually understand the cause and effect relationships between things.
So how does he do that?
Well, he developed this concept called invariant causal prediction.
Okay.
And it's all about identifying relationships that hold true across different environments, even when the data changes. So for example, if you were developing a self-driving car,
right,
you wouldn't want it to just react to seeing a million stoplights.
Right.
You'd want it to understand that a red light causes the need to stop.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So he's not just making AI smarter.
Right.
He's trying to make it think more like us.
Exactly. Yeah.
But how does that work in practice?
Well, one way is by building systems that can actually explain their reasoning.
Wait, really? So instead of just spitting out an answer,
right,
these AI systems can actually tell us why they came up with that answer.
Exactly, which is a big step towards transparency.
Okay.
And it helps us, identify potential problems and make sure that the AI is making good decisions.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So where's all this amazing work actually happening? I'm guessing it's not in some dusty basement lab, right?
No, not at all. Schölkopf's been the director at the Max Planck Institute for Intelligent Systems since 2001.
Oh, okay.
And It's like basically a breeding ground for like cutting-edge AI research.
Wow.
I mean, it's one of the top research institutions in the world, and it's specifically focused on intelligent systems.
So what kind of cool stuff are they like cooking up over there?
Oh man, they're working on everything from autonomous robotics to like the study of intelligent systems that can interact with the physical world.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Paint me a picture. Like, what does that look like in real life?
Okay, so imagine robots that can like navigate complex environments,
Okay.
manipulate objects, and even like interact with humans in a natural way.
Okay, so we're talking robots that could help with like surgery,
Yeah.
or explore dangerous places, or even like take care of our grandparents.
Exactly. All that stuff.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
But it also raises some like big questions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about how powerful these AI systems are. So what's to stop them from, going rogue?
I think it's important to remember that AI systems are tools.
Okay,
Like any tool, they can be used for good or for bad.
right.
It depends on, the humans who are building and using them.
So it's more about the humans behind the AI than like the AI itself.
Exactly. And that's why Schölkopf is such a strong advocate for developing AI responsibly.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, for one, it means focusing on transparency.
Okay.
Like we talked about earlier. We need to be able to understand how AI systems make decisions.
Right. So no more like black boxes where data goes in.
Right.
And decisions come out and we have no idea what happened in between.
Exactly. We need to be able to like peek inside and see what's going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else is involved in this whole responsible AI development thing?
Well, accountability is key.
Okay.
There need to be like clear lines of responsibility if an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm.
Right. We can't just be like, oh, the computer did it,
Exactly.
Someone's got to be responsible.
We need to know who's responsible for like designing, deploying, and monitoring these systems.
Right. So we're not just like throwing these super powerful AI tools out into the world
Right.
and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
And Schölkopf is actively working to address all these issues.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's involved in initiatives that are developing like guidelines for responsible AI development.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like constantly pushing for more research into this whole area.
Absolutely.
It's reassuring to know that someone with this much influence in the field
Right.
is actually like taking this stuff seriously.
Yeah.
It's not just talk with Schölkopf either.
No, he's putting his like beliefs into action.
Give me an example.
Well, at the Max Planck Institute,
Yeah.
they're working on like those AI systems that can actually explain their reasoning.
Right.
Which is, a huge step towards transparency.
Right.
And they're exploring ways to make AI systems more, like, robust and reliable.
Okay.
So they're less likely to make mistakes in the first place.
So he's not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
He's walking the walk.
He's walking the walk.
That's awesome.
It's what makes him such a fascinating figure in the AI world, I think.
Yeah.
He's not just a brilliant scientist.
Right.
But he's also, like, a visionary who's thinking deeply about the future of AI
Right.
and its impact on humanity.
It's amazing to think about the impact his work is already having.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like there's like even more to come.
Oh, yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground, right? We've talked about kernel methods,
Yeah.
the quest for causal AI,
Mm-hmm.
his commitment to responsible AI development.
Right.
But what about the recognition,
Yeah.
What kind of recognition has he actually gotten for all of this groundbreaking work?
Well, Schölkopf has received, like, numerous awards and accolades for his contributions to the field.
Okay, like what?
Well, for example, he was awarded the prestigious Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz Prize.
Okay, that one sounds impressive.
It is.
Tell me more.
It's one of the highest honors in German science.
Okay.
And he received it in 2018 for, his pioneering work in machine learning. He's also won the Milner Award from the Royal Society in London and the Kerber European Science Prize.
Wow. So he's not just recognized, within the AI community, but by the broader scientific world as well. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it really is. And it speaks to the significance and impact of his work.
So beyond just like the awards, how has Schölkopf's work influenced, other researchers in the field of AI as a whole?
Schölkopf is like a true thought leader in AI. His work has inspired, a whole generation of new AI researchers, and his ideas are really shaping the direction of the field.
How so?
Well, for one, he's published over 300 research papers,
Wow.
a lot of which are like considered essential reading for anybody who's studying AI.
Yeah.
And then he's a highly sought after speaker at, all the major AI conferences around the world, where he shares his insights and his vision for the future of AI.
So he's not just like writing papers. He's like out there actively shaping the conversation around AI.
Absolutely. And he's on the editorial boards of all the top AI journals, so he's helping to guide the direction of research in the field. Plus, he's mentoring a new generation of AI researchers at the Max Planck Institute. So, he's shaping the future of AI in a very direct way.
It's amazing to me that we started this deep dive barely knowing who Bernhard Schölkopf was, and now we see why he's such a, significant figure in the world of AI. What strikes me is that he's not just focused on, building smarter machines. He's thinking about how they fit into our lives and how we can make sure they're used responsibly.
That's what makes his work so important. He's not just pushing the boundaries of technology. He's grappling with the ethical and societal implications of, what he's creating.
That's a powerful combination. So where do we go from here? What's next for Schölkopf and what's next for AI?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Schölkopf's work has opened up so many possibilities, right? He's shown us that AI can be more than just a tool for, crunching data.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a tool for understanding the world around us in, a much deeper way.
Well, I'm excited to see what he does next. And I guess I want to leave that question with you, listener. If AI can learn to understand cause and effect like we do, how will that change the world? How will it change your life? That's something to think about.
It's an exciting time to be following the world of AI. And thanks to the work of pioneers like Bernhard Schölkopf, the future looks bright.
This has been an incredible deep dive. Thanks for joining us as an